the charts of the run with 296 runs. Breathing down his neck is Singapore's stylish opener, Ahan, who has tallied 242 runs of his own, and he'll be itching to get more today. And then there is definitely the battle with the ball in hand. Nepal's skipper, Bipin Prasad Sharma, has been leading by example. He's already backed 16 wickets in this tournament. But Singapore's Yuvan Pandey is just behind him with 14 scalps, and both will be key in deciding which team lifts the trophy. This is definitely going to be more than a final, and this is a clash of equals, a battle of nerves, talent, and sheer determination. The boys have fought hard to get here, and now it will all come to this one day. So buckle up and stay with us, because right now I'll be taking you to the center. Shahidur is waiting to have the toss. So handing over to you, Shahidur.
At the UK Oval for the big match. So it's 11 days and 22 matches, and now we have the top two teams. So the final will be between Nepal and Singapore. So I'm here for the all-important toss, and I have both the captains with me, Bipin from Nepal and Rian from Singapore, alongside our match referee, Mr. Rakesh. So we'll head in straight to the toss.
Heads. Heads. Impact. Singapore won.
And heads it is. Rian?
Yes, sir.
So your decision and why?
We're going to be batting first. Again, we've played, I think it's our third game on this wicket, and so far it's been a really good wicket to bat on, so we're just going to stick with the same plan.
So big game, excited to play this.
Definitely, Nepal's again a very strong team, so we're excited to put up a challenge today. Yeah.
And what sort of a total are you looking for?
Around 200, because again, it's really good batting wicket, and we've got the bowlers to defend it as well, so yeah, that's the plan.
And any changes in your 11?
We're sticking with the same 11.
Alright, good luck for the game.
Good luck, buddy.
So Vipin, happy to bowl on first?
Yes, definitely we're planning to bowl first.
So you'll be a happy captain. So unbeaten run for you, a wonderful job done. You came in as the defending champions, and now you're here in the final once again. What do you feel about this?
It's pretty good. I mean, we're the defending champion and we want to defend the title once again.
Okay, and any changes in 11 for today?
Yes, one change. The left armer goes out and another left armer goes in.
Good luck for the game. Thank you. So the news from out here, Singapore won the toss and they will be batting first.
Thank you, Shadut, for that lovely presentation. And there you have it then. Singapore have won the toss and they have elected to bat first in this grand finale. A bold but a very smart call, and you can understand why. They have got the firepower up the top, and they'll want to put runs on the board and put pressure on Nepal in a finale when nerves can surely play a role. Leading their charge will be none other than Ahan. Ahan Vutandam has been the second highest run scorer in this tournament with 242 runs to his name. He's been very cool, he's been classy, but he's been composed. He's been a rock at the top of the order for Singapore. And alongside him, the ever reliable captain of Singapore, Rian Naik, already with 222 runs in the bank, has been in sublime touch and will be the anchor through the innings. But let's make no mistake here, this will not be easy. Nepal's bowling unit have been nothing short of exceptional, especially with their spinners through the middle order. But today, the spotlight shifts to their pace attack because the new ball will be very crucial here. If Nepal's fast bowlers can strike early and rattle the top, they will expose the middle order before they settle in, and then they can fancy their chances for a big time. Nepal with the bat in hand has been absolutely clinical. We've seen what they can do. This is a team that can chase down anything or set mountain whenever it was required. So with that, definitely the stage is set. The fielders are taking position, and we can definitely hear the crowd is absolutely buzzing out there. And the first ball of this grand finale is just what we're waiting for. So it's going to be a very good contest between bat and ball. That's we can safely assume from the right beginning of this game. And once again, we're seeing a similar sort of start. It will be the pacer to start things off on Nepal with the new ball in hand. there will be that shine of the new ball, and the bit of breeze can really help it swing in the air. He will be looking to make it count right from the word go. Early wickets is the key for Nepal here. Get one of Ahan, and perhaps Rian will be out there. And if they can pick his wicket as well, suddenly the pressure will shift hard on to Singapore. And we can expect that the ball will do something from the good length area, perhaps pitching it outside the off stump, and maybe he can just test the batter's technique. And with a hint of swing, they can definitely start attacking with the fielders closing in. So let's see if we have a few good deliveries up top, because we definitely know that Singapore have been absolutely classy when it comes to these two openers, Rohan and Ahan. The similar sort of names have played in similar sort of fashion. They have really put on a good show so far, and this is the stage that they really need to carry it on. Let's see, we're still waiting for the umpire to signal play. And with that, the first ball seems like it's coming in. Abhay with new ball for Nepal, and batter is just taking guard, and it is the nerves that is talking, definitely, we can say. And here we go, umpire signals play with Abhay taking the first ball. And a solid start from Nepal there. Just attacking that off stump, just as we spoke before. And if that ball starts doing something in the air and off the pitch, it will be tough going for Ahan. The seamers haven't really delivered when it comes to the bowling of Nepal. They haven't picked up wickets as often as the captain Bipin Prasad Sharma would have wanted them to. So this will be a challenge for them right up top with the new ball in hand. And today we are seeing that the right arm seamer has started things off for Nepal. Wideish delivery, and umpire rightly signals. That's the start of the runs then for Singapore with the extra. That is definitely something that Nepal will keep in their mind, because you can't really offer too many runs in terms of extras in a situation such as the final. Fuller delivery this time in the air, and that is the first wicket already. Would you believe it? In this final, Ahan has already departed, and that too for a duck. So the seamer that we were hoping to strike early has already delivered for Nepal, and right from the word go, Nepal is already in a position of dominance. Let's have a look at that one. Not the best of delivery, we have to say, a low full toss, but just guiding that away straight to the cover fielder. And it's none other than Bipin Prasad Sharma who takes a stunner. What a moment in this game. The big wicket of Ahan has fallen, and looks like Singapore will be in a spot of bother early on. That is going to be a huge blow for Singapore. The in-form opener, the second highest run scorer in the tournament, has really gifted his wicket with a soft dismissal. And he'll definitely be very upset with himself. It was a full toss, and he could have absolutely played that anyway. But the catch was taken very well by the skipper himself. Bipin Prasad Sharma is absolutely safe as ever at cover, and no mistakes there. So in spite of Abhay Yadav not really persisting with the best of control out here, he's already picked up the prize wicket, and Singapore are one down. The pressure is truly on. This is what can happen when it comes to the final. Sometimes you're a bit nervy at the top, and you can lose your wicket in the process if you're not confident enough. Pranat Ehsan has joined Rohan, and this needs to be a good partnership if Singapore has to make a comeback. Another extra. Once again, in a similar sort of fashion, that was pitched far on the offside, and umpire has no hesitation to declare that a wide. You can see that the skipper is really motivating his fast bowler. This is exactly what Nepal needed. They know that they're doing a very good job with the spinners out there in the middle overs, and so far we're just waiting. We were waiting for the faster bowlers to come into play. Let's have a look at how he continues from here on. So far, only the extras are keeping the scoreboard ticking for Singapore. And with that, I'm happy to welcome Shaidur into the com box with me. Welcome, Shaidur. Yes, well made. The point was absolutely valid. But I want to mention that yes, they've definitely lost Ahan early, but this is a final, and you can't let the pressure suffocate your intent. We know that the likes of Rian Naik is still out there, and he's been one of the most fluent batters in this tournament with just above 200 runs up his rank. So definitely the new batter Pranath needs to settle in early, and they'll be looking to build a partnership from here on because so far nothing have really come on from the bat. We've had 3 runs on the board and all 3 came as extras. So let's see how they settle in because that is what is required. They need a partnership here. Yeah, so far, one thing that really stands out already is the fact that Nepal's fast bowlers, who had been under a little bit of pressure throughout the tournament, seem to have really turned on a corner here. Coming out into this final, pace wasn't exactly their strongest suit. It was the spinners who usually turn the screws for them. But today, Abhay, with his new ball partner, Sushil, have really started with a clear plan in their mind. They have used the angles well, and so far the batters have committed the mistake. Let's see, Rohan on the other hand, is a very aggressive player. We know that. And he'll be trying to score off any opportunity that is presented. As we can see on that last one, that was deviating down the leg side, and he was up and ready to just flick it off his legs. So Rohan needs to bat a long innings here. And let's see if this different level of discipline and energy from the Nepal pacers can really show some more pressure on Singapore early on this innings. Yes, and while the cricket on the field has been top class, full credit must go to the Asian Cricket Council, the ACC, for their vision and their commitment to the development of the game at the grassroots level. We see that organizing a tournament of this scale for under 16 players with this level of professionalism is definitely not a small task. But they've done it absolutely brilliantly, giving these young talents a platform to shine and to feel the nerves, the crowd, the pressure of international cricket as well. And as we say, that is a very good looking drive, but we can see that they have been electric in the field so far. So at this moment, we can safely assume that Nepal has momentum with them. Yes, now that on the other end, the left hand seamer Sushil, he's been a touch nervy so far. Already, he's just bowled that five wides in this over, and not quite the start he would have hoped for. In a final like this, discipline is really everything, especially with the kind of pressure Abhay has created from the other end. The wicket was generated early on, and so far it was tight bowling, but they really need to capitalize here. He's already given away 9 runs, so expensive from the other end from Sushil Badu so far, and it looks like he isn't really learning. He's pitched the deliveries quite a bit far on the leg side too often for our liking, and that's really not helping the cause of Nepal. He definitely has some pace. He's bowling with a lot of carry, but he needs to just maintain the line and length. And that's been the story for Sushil Bahadur rather so far in this tournament. It's the line and length that he has struggled with, and so far he hasn't really produced the breakthroughs quite often for Nepal with the new ball in hand. Yes, and that's been the story. So far, even Abhay Yadav has given away the runs in his column from wides. Those were three of them. And on the other hand, we have definitely seen Sushil Bahadur, who's given away seven. So, too many extras to start things off. And that's been the story from the faster bowlers of Nepal. We've been worried about how they go on. And in spite of the wicket that they have taken of Ahan Bhuthandam, so far, they haven't really looked like quite threatening. It is just that the nerves from Singapore would have just resulted that wicket because that drive could have really gone anywhere. So we definitely have to say at this stage that the faster bowlers are really struggling for rhythm, and the run rate really explains it. It's well over six, and they need to come back quite strongly here. They need to bowl on the off stump, perhaps ask the batter a few more questions, maybe bring in a slip fielder and attack by having a close in short mid wicket or a catching cover. Because once you allow someone like Rohan to settle in, he can really go after the bowling, and that's not something that they will want. We know that the UKM Oval can start benefiting the spinners, and that's why it is this spell from the two opening seamers of Nepal which becomes much more crucial. Yes, and I do get an impression that they're bowling quite quickly. They have that extra bit of pace, both of them really, Abhay as well as Sushil. They're bowling with a lot of pace and they're getting good carry of this pitch. So now that they have to capitalize on this early momentum, they have to tighten their line and length a bit more. The new ball is doing just enough, and there's definitely some shape, some bounce, and the pitch is offering some assistance. So bowling in the right areas definitely becomes the key. And occasionally we haven't seen them mix it up either. Maybe a short ball can really unsettle this batter, or maybe they can just have that change of pace. They really have to do something different to pick up another wicket here because otherwise the runs have been flowing for Singapore. Yes, what they can definitely do is they can break this innings into smaller phases. Maybe they can look at phases in the break of 5 overs, and every 5 overs they can give themselves a target which they can then go about. Because we have often heard that if you think of batting the full 50 overs, you can sometimes bring in a lot of pressure onto yourselves, and that's not really something they would want at this stage. So maybe they can have a look at how they want to go about their batting power play, which is the first 10 overs, and perhaps they'll want to be happy with a score of at about 50 if they don't lose a wicket, that is. And from there on, they can build the innings further. So the thing that is crucial for Singapore at this stage is definitely wickets in hand. Yes, I'm absolutely delighted with that decision. We have seen that over the course of the tournament, the two fast bowlers have not really delivered for Nepal. We saw once again repetition of that. Sushil Badu was very expensive. His first over went for 11 runs. And we know that Bipin, the captain, is actually the highest wicket taker in this tournament. So it is a very smart move by him to just bring in himself. The Pacers were leaking a lot of runs, especially by extras, and this is a very calm and calculated decision to back in some sort of control in this innings. And we know that the pitch here at UCAM Oval has that extra bit of grip, and maybe if he can manage to pick up that one wicket, he can bring his side right in control. Yes, definitely. And that will be the slight flaw in the technique of someone like Pranat that he can exploit on, because he's batting a little bit tentatively. So perhaps he can just bowl that arm ball and bring it into the right hander just that enough. He can just break through the defenses and maybe castle him. We'll have to wait and watch for that. But on occasions, we can expect him to toss it up as well, because we've seen that sometimes when the batters are looking to play it aerial, they haven't been able to get the gap. On that last occasion, we saw just the demonstration of the arm ball that we were talking about. So definitely, yes, Bipin Prasad is trying to mix it up nicely, and a wicket here will really open the floodgates for Nepal. Let's see how he goes. Yes, definitely. Good mention and excellent comparison for Bipin Prasad Sharma. But on the other hand, we are seeing Abhay Yadav actually come back quite nicely into bowling his third. And so far, we're seeing that he's happy to bring the ball into the right hander. That is an excellent delivery, almost getting that outside edge. Nevertheless, he's asking the right questions here and he has bowled well. He's bowling within himself and he has that extra bit of pace to just help him carry those to the keeper quite nicely. As on the replay, we can see that it just somehow missed the top of the middle stump on that last occasion. Yes, and I'll be very interested if he just decides to go short at the batter, because he doesn't look quite settled in yet. Just 2 of 12 deliveries that he has faced. So maybe with someone at the deep square leg position, he can just decide to go in short and just test how good his pull shot is. So far, he's happy to just bowl fuller. And look at that, what a throw this is. So the intention of Abhay Yadav is there. He's alert and he's looking to pick up a wicket from somewhere. Yes, it's definitely been a difficult outing for Singapore after winning the toss. They had decided to have a bat first, and so far they haven't really been able to free their arms yet. In terms of scoring, they're yet to pick up a boundary. So that really shows how difficult it has been going for them. Rohan Austin has scored just the 3 runs, and Pranath, his partner, has scored just two. These are the runs that have been scored off the bat. So definitely, extras have been far more productive for them. So if Nepal can manage to work on that, definitely they'll be piling a lot of pressure on the Singapore batting lineup. With 5 overs done, it's 17 with a loss of one for Singapore, and we can definitely say that it's been a steady but very scratchy start from the batting side. Pranad 3 of 15 right now, 2 of 15 right now rather, and Rohan is 3 of 13. Both are still trying to find their rhythm under the pressure of this disciplined Nepal attack, and we can see that Sushil is brought back into the attack. So Bipin Prasad Sharma perhaps just tried to get a grip on the scoring rate and just allowed Sushil Bahadur to settle in, and they bring in that left arm seamer once again. So he's trusting his fast bowler, but he's given him that little bit of time as well. So excellent captaincy definitely from Bipin at this stage. Yes, definitely. And Sushil Bahadur has bowled well in his second spell, if you can say, after he was stopped for that 1 over. And definitely, you were right to mention that the Nepal fans are tuning in from around the world. The energy is being felt right here at the UKM. And this time we see a good looking flick shot, but look at that effort. I believe it was Sugam who's done a fantastic job to stop that one because that ball was definitely traveling. Yes, yes, and this is what the crowd will be tuning in for. They believe in their side. From social media to live streams, the online Nepalese crowd have been nothing short of electric throughout the tournament, let me remind you. They've been cheering every wicket, every boundary, and they have backed their young warriors with unmatched passion. And you can see how much this means to the players out there in the middle as well. They are highly motivated, and with the support that is loud, proud, and constant, they have also delivered. So far in this tournament, they have been undefeated, and once again, they're putting a very good show with the ball in hand. Yes, an absolute mix up out there. Yes and no trouble here. And once again, the electric field that they have done so far in this field, they have gotten another reward. He hesitated, and it is the mistake that they were looking for. The fielder has done a brilliant job with the effort to stop the ball at the first place, and a rocket throw. Very accurate. And once again, this is Singapore losing their second, and just when things were looking slightly better, they've lost another. Yes, and on the other hand, this will be definitely the partnership that Nepal will be trying to break, and it will be the wicket of that man, the captain of Singapore, will be standing in between. But on the other hand, we've definitely seen some absolute top draw fielding from Nepal, the kind that you love to see in a final like this. The pickup was very clean and the release was lightning quick as well. So definitely the change in bringing in Sushil Bahadur has somehow worked for Nepal, and the captain will be very happy. And full credit to the Nepal coaching staff as well. The intent, the athleticism, the awareness. This is sign of a well drilled and a very hungry fielding unit. They're not just relying on bowling or batting. They're definitely winning in all three departments in this tournament. Let's see how it goes. Rian Naik, so far, after coming out to bat, has played a very confident looking drive, and that's a good sign. If he can just steady the ship here, maybe Singapore can still fancy their chances. It's still very early, just 18 runs on the board, and we've only been through the first six. Yes, he's been quite disciplined right from the start. He's given up a few extras, but nevertheless, he's bowled with tight lines, good lengths, and plenty of threat with the new ball. And so far, we're seeing that Rohan Austin is trying a very different approach here. We've seen him throughout this tournament trying to go after the bowling, but he realizes that his wicket is very crucial and he has refrained from playing any kind of loose shots. On the other hand, he'll just keep an eye on the scoring rate as well. At this moment, he's 4 of 18. So Singapore will be very interested in him having a very long day out there. Let's see if he can negotiate this new bowling from Abhay Yadav. Yes, he's definitely building the pressure now with those disciplined bowling, and he's been awarded with some sharp fielding as well. So definitely no freebies for the batsman yet. And another delivery when we see that hint of movement on the offside. So every dot ball is really tightening the screw for Singapore out there in the middle. We can sense that the nerves are starting to creep in. And if Nepal can keep this up, wickets will surely follow. And with that, we have just that one ball remaining in the seventh over. Only 19 runs. At one point, we definitely felt that they were going at about a very healthy run rate. And look at that now, 2.78. So what a comeback by Nepal. Yes, the only thing that Nepal need to go their way is the fact that the spell of Sushil Bahadur hasn't really worked for him. He has struggled for line and length here, and once again it was pitched outside the off stump. A good effort from third man fielder, but not before it is Rian Naik who gets a couple of runs. So Sushil has the angle really with his left arm seamers and the ability to swing the ball both ways when it comes to right-handers out there in the middle. But he needs to have that length a bit tightened up, maybe cut down on the wides and bowl with a little bit more control to keep the pressure mounting. And he'll be eyeing the wicket of that man. If he can pick up somehow the wicket of Rian Naik, all that he has done will definitely be forgiven. So let's see how he goes from here. Yes, and it will not be easy to bowling against someone like Rian Naik. Although he's 2 of 4, I can tell you something about his technique. It has been textbook perfect so far in this tournament. He has played very poised, balanced, and confident innings all throughout this tournament. Every shot that he plays looks to be very measured, and his defense is also very sound. So you can definitely watch out for the kind of innings that he is about to play. So Sushil Bahatur will definitely have his work cut off here because Rian is definitely the backbone of Singapore, and a lot will depend on him for this total that Singapore is about to put on. Yes, definitely. So far, they haven't picked up any boundaries yet, and Rohan at the moment is 4 of 22. So he's just defending away at all the deliveries that the bowlers are going at him. So he started off very cautiously, but in this situation, he'll need to find a bit more urgency, maybe to just rotate the strike because someone like Rian Naik is definitely at the other end. So dot balls can build the pressure on the batting side, and the Nepal bowlers will definitely try to exploit that. So that's something that Rohan definitely needs to keep in his mind and just play a better support role. Yes, and he's just trying to perhaps catch on that nervy start that Singapore has had so far. And sometimes when the batters are just thinking too much, they can have a bit of difficulty when it comes to their defenses. And so far, that has been something that they're trying to exploit. And look at that. That occasion, the ball just rose up perfectly, and Rian Naik absolutely smashed that towards the offside. This is something that he can do. And the first boundary comes in for Singapore off the bat of none other than their captain, Rian Naik. Yes, and I think he definitely has to have some words with his partner. Look at that shot on the rise this time, driven beautifully. And once again, what a shot! Absolutely to the perfection. Yes, this is why we have to appreciate Rian Naik even further. It is the bowler Abhay Yadav who was doing such a good job with the new ball in hand. And right now, he's played two boundaries and he has unsettled Abhay Yadav to perfection. So definitely Rian Naik take a bow. The back-to-back boundaries, he has definitely helped to announce himself in style. Yes, once again, the bowler committing yet another mistake. On that occasion, he strayed a little bit down onto the pad of Rian Naik, and the roll of the wrist is so beautiful. No chance for any of the fielder. He's finding the gap to absolute perfection. He has struck. What a delivery! Just out of absolutely nowhere. Abhay Yadav delivers the good. It is that man, Rian Naik, who has to fall short just on the outside. And he tried to go at it, and that outside edge. What a big moment in this game. Just when Rian Naik was looking in sublime touch, he was timing everything. Abhay comes back with a perfect response. Full on the good length, just outside off, and a hint of movement. That is all that was required, and Rian couldn't really hold his nerves there. He tried to guide it, but only managed to get a feather, and that was enough. Nepal absolutely erupt in celebration, and we can see that shockwaves are all over the world right now. Yes, from here on, things can get very interesting. With Rian Naik, the danger man gone, Singapore's most dependable batter is back at the pavilion, and the spotlight will shift straight away onto the middle order that has struggled quite a lot in this tournament. They've definitely lacked consistency, and that will be a wide, but nevertheless, we know that Nepal will be aware of that as well. And exactly the scenario where they'll be hoping for early wickets, and now there will be scoreboard pressure as well, with a real chance for Nepal to just have a go at the middle order. Abhay is definitely fired up. The fielders are also buzzing, and the crowd as well. So it's time for Nepal to really go out there and show their skills with the ball in hand, especially now with the power play about to end. We can see that the spinners will be just licking their lips and ready to have a go. Yes, you're absolutely spot on there. We have seen three glorious boundaries from Rian Naik, which was full of class, confidence, and command. And then, just like that, Abhay had the last word. So, cricket at times really writes its own poetry. The batter rising, the bowler was under pressure, and then suddenly that one perfect delivery and that one edge that was just feathered, and the celebration had begun. So, really, reward for some very good bowling for Abhay Yadav right from the word go. Other than the fact that he's given away a few extras, I think he was right up there when it comes to some scintillating new ball stuff. So, full credit to the captain of Nepal, Bipin Prasad Sharma, to really persisting with the likes of Abhay Yadav. And now I think this will be the last over for Sushil Bahadur, and after that we will be seeing some spin. Look at that, Swarit Thakur this time drives that on the rise. Perhaps it was Rohan Austin, we'll have to see for confirmation, but nevertheless, it was a beautiful shot. So really trying to counter attack is Singapore here. Yes, Swarit Thakur is definitely riding some good form. On the previous outing in the semi-final, he managed to pick up a half century, and that is something he'll have to do from here as well. He starts off with a very crisp stroke on the offside, so definitely he's giving us an idea that perhaps he's not just looking to survive, he's looking to counterpunch. And definitely Singapore will need him to stand tall now. The top order has already gone back, just the like of, oh, look at that! And look at the celebration! Another edge! Big moment in this game. Swarit Thakur has to go back. So the change of angle definitely working for Sushil Bahadur. And what a wicket that was! An absolutely fantastic celebration as well. Why not? He truly deserves it. Yes, Swarit Thakur, who came in looking positive, departs for just the 5 runs then, and the middle order once again is starting to flatter out there. We have to give full credit, like you mentioned, to someone like Sushil Bahadur as well as his captain. And definitely the idea of coming around the wicket and the left arm angle really worked to perfection. That one just straightened up slightly and drew Suarez into the drive, and the edge was absolutely inevitable. So beautiful planning and excellent purchase from Nepal so far. Right now, 41 for 4, Singapore in absolute disarray. They really need a partnership, and let's see if the left-hander walking out to bat can make something change for them. Yes, Shadur, I've observed something. Sushil Bahadur is actually far better when it comes to bowling to left-handers because, as you saw on previous occasion as well, sometimes against the right-hander, when it comes to bowling over the wicket, he is occasionally deviating too far down the leg side. But that same ball to a left-hander becomes an absolute peach of a delivery, and that's something Sushil Bahadur has done extremely well throughout this tournament. So it will be interesting to see how Arav goes and faces him. Just when I say that, you can see that the hint of movement was there and he picked up that outside edge. Perhaps if the slip fielder was just one step closer, could have had another wicket. Excellent bowling from Sushil. Yes, and so far the left hand is looking tentative out there. Even though he's picked up a boundary, it wasn't in the most convincing fashion. One more delivery remaining. A good delivery once again, and another edge. And once again, he will feel that he's missed out on that one. But nevertheless, excellent over from Sushil Bahadur comes to an end. So that is the end of the first power play here. After the completion of it, the score on the board is just 46, but with the loss of 4. So after winning the toss, Singapore decided to have a bat first, but so far the scale has tipped for Nepal out there. We'll have to see how they continue from here, because once they bring in their spinners, I can tell you they'll definitely look to assert their dominance even further. Definitely, Abhay Yadav has bowled brilliantly so far in this innings, but I still feel that right now might be the best time to give him a breather. He's done a good job. He's bowled superbly with the new ball, and in a final like this, it's important to manage your strike bowler quite smartly as well. So definitely a short break could really help him recharge, and perhaps when Singapore try to rebuild and accelerate, he can be brought back, because we know that the spinners can really get the breakthroughs whenever it is required, and that's something that I would want them to really test Singapore with. Let's see how it goes. Perhaps from the other end we can see a change. Yes, and with that last delivery as well, you can see that the pace has dipped slightly, and that zip that we saw early on, especially in the first few overs, seemed to be fading away that little bit. But look at that, he's bowling with a lot of control, nevertheless. So we can see that he's definitely trying, and he's trying to bowl his heart out. But it is on the captain really to manage the workload, and eventually with the rest he can definitely come back and be the spearhead that he is. Nevertheless, we can see that the crowd is absolutely delighted. We can see some beautiful dance moves there as well, and seems like the crowd of Nepal and Singapore are really enjoying themselves. Both look in harmony, and that's really the best thing that we can talk about cricket, really uniting the fans. And just when we say that, Arav Agarwal has driven one beautifully through the offside, and maybe that will add up to the joy of the crowd as well. It's been a very nervy innings so far. Early wickets, a brief counter attack, and now some rebuilding underway. Here's how it unfolded. Ahan, the tournament's second high scorer, was dismissed very early for a duck of two deliveries. Pranath struggled for fluency with 2 of 17, and Rohan, who's still out there at the crease, is at the moment playing a very steady innings, 5 of 24. It was Rian Naik who looked very promising with three boundaries in quick succession before falling for 15 of 11. Once again, we're seeing that Sushil Bahadur is bowling very well. He's attacking the stump quite consistently. At the moment, we're seeing that the left-hander Arav is trying to build a very steady innings with the bat in hand. So one big factor that's helping Singapore has definitely been the extras. So far, we've definitely seen 15 of them. So that's something that Nepal will try to keep an eye on, maybe not give that away so that the scoreboard just draws slightly further. Nepal won't mind that too much. They've gotten the 4 wickets they have wanted. Once again, as we mentioned, that the extras are something they'll need to keep in check. Another demonstration of that. Next few overs will definitely be key. Can Singapore rebuild, or will Nepal continue bringing in the squeeze? Let's see. Yes, just when we thought that the rebuild was underway, there is yet another one. Beautiful delivery. I mentioned that he has that uncanny knack of bringing the ball into the left hander, and once again, he castles him. So he's done it. The stumps have been uprooted, and the umpire has to give that out as well. So look at that, Sushil. Pure joy unleashed. The cartwheels come across the pitch. A brilliant display of athleticism and celebration. We saw that the crowd has also erupted. The team has rushed in. Nepal's energy is absolutely unmatchable and absolutely electric. What a moment in this game. In the final, we can see that Singapore's half of the team is already back at the hut, and from here on, definitely Nepal will capitalize and try to close the innings as quickly as possible. He's absolutely ripping through the Singapore batting lineup, Sushil, at this stage. We can definitely say the extra bit of pace is helping him. And once again, that round the wicket angle to the right hander is really what has undone him. Look at that. Full pace on display, and attacking the stump has been rewarding him. Once again, the cartwheeling celebration comes out, and Singapore are really losing their way out there. What's truly been different today for Nepal has been the fact that the fast bowlers have stepped up to the occasion. Abhay has picked up 2 wickets for 25 runs, and Sushil right now has been absolutely unstoppable. He's already picked up three, and throughout the tournament, we saw that Nepal leaned happily on their spin department. But in this final, The Pacers have really outdone themselves. This discipline, the energy, and the breakthroughs with the ball in hand have come on at the right time and put Singapore on the back foot quite early. And the pressure keeps on building. Right now, it's been a very sorrow story for Singapore's batting, especially after winning the toss. They definitely wouldn't have wanted that. Right now, it is the charge being led by someone like Sushil Bahadur Rawal. So far, his 4.5 has given away 26 and has picked up 3 wickets. Right now, it's all about closing the innings for Singapore, and we'll have to wait and watch if the fast bowlers are allowed to continue. Let's see, quite interesting phase in the game, and that brings in yet another right hander. So let's see if Sushil is able to pick up just that other one. Last ball of this over, similar sort of delivery, this time slightly deviating down the leg side. He will not mind that because he's trying to create that angle to the right hander. Yes, and that is why we are always skeptical about such kind of an approach because I believe if Rohan Austin Arun was trying to just rotate the strike when his partner Rian Naik was out there, maybe it could have been a different story. We saw him really struggling to rotate the strike, and Rian Naik perhaps thought that it is all onto him to keep the scoreboard going. That's when he decided to just go after the bowling slightly a bit more consistently, and maybe he should have just refrained from playing that one shot on the offside. We also saw when Swarit Thakur come out to bat, he also looked to just play slightly aggressively, and then he was also undone by that brilliant delivery from Sushil. So that's been the story so far. All the other batters have come out with a little bit more of an intent, and on that process of just scoring that run quickly, they have lost their wickets. So that is why someone like Rohan Austin really needs to carry on from here because he has already faced 24 deliveries. He knows how the ball is behaving out there in the middle, and he needs to bat better throughout and perhaps build a partnership with someone like Kapish. So we're well and truly in the lower middle order at this point. We know that Kapish can really bat, but it will be very difficult against the likes of someone like Bipin Prasad Sharma, who's now decided to come out into the attack. Let's see, will the spin pick up another wicket or will they be able to just build out on a partnership